This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard, 6 yards.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Let's go. 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On 3rd down, Stevens. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. But they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Let's go. 38.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. But right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's the conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing, so things aren't as precise as they've been so far.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. As his guys are in for 6. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. picking up where they left off before the open week that they had last week as they won going into that, and no signs of being stale.
No, and that's really big for them because there's a trust factor that goes into this because what often happens, if you win the game before your open week, you usually get more time off. But if you win the game before the open week, get more time off, and don't play well the next time out, that goes away. So they're making a statement that they like that time off.
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now let's go. Green.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The starters defensively now for the Patriots. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stevens, wide open receiver, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Looking to throw. Stevens. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter, It's a good running back dive play.
Over the middle, complete. It's Newton. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down.
Well, there was a trust factor in that call, turning and handing it to the big man in the backfield, trying to pick up the first down. But how about the defense? They were ready for him, and they were able to stop him.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Heinz Field has always been a tough place for field goal kickers. It's just a very heavy side, plus you've got an open end of the field with wind coming off the Allegheny. And sure enough, he kind of chunks this one, and it's no good.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. At the end of one, 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Welch. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throw left side complete. It's Welch. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough downfield for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, look good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. He swallowed him up. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Off play action. Stevens. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
They'll roll him out right. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And they'll go on the ground. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
That is caught inside the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's when the physicality pays off. A nice job. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
To throw on second down, Stevens. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. New England on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Let's go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Off the play fake. Stevens. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Let's go! Brad!
Operating from the gun. Stevens. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go now!
They'll set up a throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, Stevens. Flush to his right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Welch. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That good for 19 and a first down.
But we just saw him run the football really effectively there with 3 tight ends in the game. And any defensive coordinator, when they see that set, if they can get more bodies out onto the field, not more than 11, of course, but bigger bodies to combat what they're going to do, because that's a run-heavy formation. Those guys are out there to block 9 times out of 10. And in this case, they did it really successfully.
So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to lead. Now they get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Stevens. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Patriots. First down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
And his kick here is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on first down. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Fletcher. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that went
Here we
incomplete.
go. Try it.
To throw again, Stevens. This will be caught just inside the 10. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
Here we go. What? 90.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
From the gun on third down, Stevens. And that is incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive in. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
The timing and the faking on that play was so good, you almost think you're at a magical act, right? The magician has shown you something, and then you realize it's not really there. He's created an illusion, and the illusion was they were going to throw the football. It looked like a pass play. Instead, it turned into a draw. Offensive lineman able to get out in front, They drew the defensive line upfield and beat them at their own game, and that's why they picked up big yardage into the secondary. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Unable to corral him. He fights through. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And a nice gain at 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
We have played 3 quarters. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Throwing again. Stevens. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And they'll run it here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Let's go. Grand 38.
On first down, Stevens. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Neal. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throw left side complete. It's Newton. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go! 38!
On 1st and 10, Stevens. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Forget height and catch radius. When you run the fade really well, run down the defender, kind of take him a little bit towards the middle of the field, and then fade to the sideline and give your quarterback some space, it can be
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Patriots take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Let's go!
Throwing on 1st down. Stevens gonna throw right side here, complete. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. 7 yards on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel-down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and a bump.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. New England on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15.
Here we go. What? 9.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw. And that's incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Welch. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. He's back to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. He'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5. First and 15. To throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. The Patriots in the victory formation as they'll take the knee. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator?